Hello everyone, and welcome to a bit of a VTuber gossip drama video over here when it comes to Kirsche, and now the, I guess, almost resolution of a long-standing story that I was kind of somewhat made aware of maybe a few weeks ago. So this is a bit intriguing. So as I've been kind of going through the whole VTubing sphere, I've kind of realized that a lot of people, especially when you have an opinion, and especially if they don't agree with your opinion, just end up not liking you. I've actually had a pretty big influx as I've kind of made in my honest opinion, pretty chill stances made. And I've had people who have like spammed my email. I've had people try to go and swap me. I've had a lot, like, to be fully honest. Even sometimes, and pretty much only in the VTubing sphere, I'll have the occasional person who has me blocked, and I kind of feel like I'm kind of like a very more in the middle kind of sentry, and I kind of can go both ways in certain issues, to the point where I think I've probably, at least on some instances, upset a little bit of everyone on every side. But I don't know, that's kind of just how I was always raised and what I've kind of always thought to go and do. But it's always intriguing because a lot of people, more so based on like the right end of the political spectrum, kind of sometimes are kind of chill with what I have to go and say because I try to look at every situation objectively. And when it comes to this one, it does once again seem like someone was kind of, I guess, scrutinized and demonized for having a somewhat separate political spectrum view. And it kind of seemed like they turned to a massive cancellation attempt. And as of right now, it seems like there's a full-on resolution of this. Now, it's intriguing because, at least for me, some of the more polarizing people I've met in the VTubing sphere have been very nice to me. Like, even when my own grandmother passed away, I had many people send me private condolences, made sure I was okay. Many people also usually do watch my content or videos, and if anyone ever does react to my content, as long as you can, actually go and be nice and polite about it, even if you disagree with me, would always be down. But I have also kind of even seen the same case where people have actually lied about my opinions, my thoughts, my opinion, like just what I've actually even said. Like, people have even tried to go take me out of complete context in a 1-second clip, or as well sometimes like completely go into la la land where I'm like, here's exactly what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. And then at that point, I've also even had people just go completely ignore it and then try to go once again, like start like a brand new attack. I don't know. I've kind of seen firsthand that sometimes these parasocial kind of freaks in the VTubing world can get a little bit feisty, especially if you do not go and agree with what they have to go and say. I think I'm a little bit more freedom to go and say that as I said that because I'm a little bit more on the center end, so I can kind of go in both directions. In all full honesty, and I've also made a lot of other gossip videos when it comes to popular content creators on this channel, just kind of a gossip commentary channel with, I also, do have a little special interest in the VTubing sphere. So I've kind of seen this. I even saw some people even kind of give me weird quotes on Kirsche herself. I've even had people say, like, I should not go and cover certain content creators, which I'll kind of just do whatever I want to do on this channel because you guys, like, that's weird. And if it's a gossip channel, how come I have to not go and cover certain people or sometimes go and have my own separate opinions? Because I kind of feel like my principles are usually the same. But it always sucks because whenever I make these VTubing videos, I have to go in a massive long monologue because that's just kind of like the scariness of that community. You do something that you don't like, people try to go tweet you, say you follow this person, you're disgusting, like you're a racist, you're horrible, whatever it might be. So even if you disagree with all Kirsche's political spectrum, that's totally fine, but just always try to be respectful. And I think that is where this big line was kind of started over here. So let's go breaking down this brand new story over here with Kirsche. And the fact that it seems like as of right now, a company that chose to go and drop her now reinstated their kind of partnership. And it seems like a lot of people online especially are pretty proud of this. People are very hyped up for it because it seems like, once again, the cancel culture is kind of falling apart. So subscribe if you guys are new. Would love to have you guys over here. Or, of course, give your thoughts down below. Completely okay if you guys disagree or have your own reservations against Kirsche. But in my mind, I think kind of my big stance, if you will, is I'm just not really a big fan of this whole cancel culture. I don't like the idea that if you have a separate view or opinion, the very first instinct is always to be like, how can we ruin their life? What can we do to destroy them? Like, how can we make them lose money? How can we attack people associated with them? And even for me, I've even had people go and say, for people I follow or interact with, that they are these evil, horrible people or bad, and I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Like, what the fuck are you saying to me? Like, I'm like, I don't even, like, if I don't know you, if I don't have you on Discord, I don't think you have the access to go and control on who I talk to, who I interact with, or at the same time, a lot of you guys in the VTubing sphere don't even know who I even speak to privately. But nonetheless, there is a lot of reservations on certain content creators out there, and like I said, I'm a little bit more chill on everyone. My goal is, if you're lefty, if you're cool, I'm cool with you. You're ready, I'm cool with you. If you're just some random person existing in the flow and you're a dog girl or something, I'm probably cool with you. So sorry for that longer intro, because don't mind, I always have to do this in the VTubing sphere because people can go kind of crazy. So this kind of all stemmed off over here, and I'll get to more of this context from what I believe is right. Like, I'm not the most informed on this stuff, so feel free to get more thoughts down below. But Kirsche herself is, like I said, a little bit more of a political commentator. Think like an Asmongold, Hassan type level person, like they'll want to cover up current world news, give opinions on it. And if they have a slightly different stance and a lot maybe more so the left-leaning VTubing community, yeah, people did not like that. And I do think, and I've kind of witnessed it myself because I even made some videos on it and talked about it, probably about a year and a half ago or so, maybe even as soon as 1 year ago, people were very, very hostile towards people on different political spectrums. That's kind of how Twitch is, a lot of clickbait, a lot of like, you make these comments, but people were trying to go hardcore. And it did seem like, although Kirsche may have a few, in some people's minds, questionable political takes, as you can maybe see for other folks, if you disagree with them, that should be where it should kind of maybe drop the line. Maybe you don't follow them, maybe you don't support them, maybe you yourself are like, yeah, you're just not my cup of tea. But we're also seeing a lot more kind of crazier claims when it comes to like, Nazisms, when it comes to just a lot more. I'm not even sure what words I can say up on that on YouTube. I might be just demonetized for that last line, but whatever it is what it is. But we actually now had, there was kind of a big campaign. It kind of seemed, I think someone actually did a big summary for it. And we made a video on this a few weeks ago too as well, where it seemed like maybe a few months ago, where we kind of went through some of like the evidence and comments when it came to like what caused people to dislike this Kirsche woman on her content, on her opinions, or whatever it might be. And it didn't really seem like it was that crazy, although also a lot of it was also deleted. A lot of people, like, it just was a massive, massive list. I'm trying to tweet in the background too. It was like a massive list over here where just a lot of people were like, this is this and this and this. And it was like, I think I saw one where it was like an Xbox gamer tag, and I just didn't feel like that really seemed like anything super crazy, I don't know. Like, even right now, people are still going and saying, like, calling this game on out, that they're starting to work with again. Payday as a franchise may be in a tough spot. Payday 3 absolutely failed. I don't even think like a rough spot's even the word for it. But it's better than playing racism and homophobia, the heist, aka Crime Boss, the game. Now, I did have a few people go and like mention a few things on Kirsche. If there's something I may have missed, feel free to please let me know. But it didn't seem like it was anything that bad. Like, I kind of grew up on the Xbox 360 era Modern Warfare 2. Like, I've not ever saying like people should be saying certain things or certain whatever. Like, it's not my prerogative to go do that. But my prerogative on these types of videos is that I just don't like people getting canceled for no reason. Even when people do kind of questionable things, I feel like unless it's something like really bad, extremely illegal, interacting with children, stuff on those regards, I don't think it should really be canceled, in my opinion. Of course, obviously, some people may disagree on that, but I'm pretty loose when it comes to online stuff. I've seen some crazy things online. I just kind of feel like if you are in the political spectrum, you do have a lot more not brand friendly as a whole. Think Asmongold, think Hassan on both ends, Destiny. You probably have a lot less likelihood to deal with sponsors besides maybe like gambling sponsors, if you will. That's just, I think, just the way of having polarizing takes, because as a company, you usually want to go and appeal to everyone rather than just a select few. But that's where I think this kind of drama got into it, because people tried to go and cancel this Kirsche one. I think usually I don't like to go and step too much into politics, as you guys can probably go and say. I'm trying to be a little bit, teeing the line over here. But people are still upset about it. Like, yeah, they're saying this game is just like the racism and homophobia game, aka the Crime Boss game itself. It doesn't even seem like that big of a game, too. It only has 13,000 followers. Some of the other things are maybe at like 3,000 to 5,000 people playing it. And even people say, I buried my head in the sand with this one. Dear God, what an awful look on Crime Boss. If nothing else, at least Payday isn't supporting lunatics. They managed to say nothing about the peanut. Thank God. For once, it's great to be a Payday fan. I don't think I've ever seen those words uttered in my mind, besides back in like 2014 when Payday 2 first came out. And then people are talking about this too as well. And they're saying, seriously, the statement given was simply a, we're not letting politics influence this matter from the company. And I feel like that's usually a good stance, unless it's someone extremely polarizing, like say like pedophilia, or, something like, like bad, like literally generally bad. They're saying you're just going to go and browbeat them over this. For what purpose? To what end? People spurge and gaming is just a cancerous behavior, and frequently makes me want to stop engaging with communities. It kind of seems like this reading over here too as well. It's like, hey, like people are kind of going a little bit crazy on this end, and they just don't really like it. But we saw the stance over here with a lot of like people supporting this, saying, I'm super happy to be working again together with Crime Boss the game. I was very happy to have their new community manager reach out to me, and it seems like the past community manager actually took a step away. And I do believe a lot of people were blaming the Nyara account for just basically just trying to do a massive hate campaign. Trying to be like, you guys are all horrible people for working with this cursed person. And I believe, from my understanding, I could be wrong, they did state that, at least from this like community support, that the cursed woman even worked for them for free. I did like played the game, just want to promote it on out. And then at some point, they still had a lot of harassment towards them, and then it was an issue. If anything, if someone was playing my game for free, I'd count that as a blessing. That's an absolute massive W. If anything, that's a win. So it's almost more of a slap in the face, especially when the game seems like a small indie company. Doesn't seem like it, they're getting millions upon millions of people playing the game. So yeah, like a free sponsor for a channel getting like 1,000 views pretty consistently, that's a pretty good deal. Now, I could, like, once again, I can understand if you dislike her political takes for whatever reason. That's fine. That's like every politics. So I don't really like to delve into politics too much. But I would hope most people, at least the people in my community, or at least a lot of the normies over here, can understand that, like, dude, like, if someone's doing, like, you don't have to cancel everyone. Like, some of these people, especially in the VTubing sphere, are just so on your ass. Like, no matter what you do, they are looking for your next hiccup. And if they can't go get their next hiccup or try to go get your next, like, issue, they'll try to make it for you. They'll try to harass you. They'll try to ruin you. And it did seem like this Kirsche one was also involved in multiple cancellation attempts, to the point where even people, I believe, was Vice. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to go spread misinformation because I'm not the most familiar with this one. But I think at one point she did actually go and react to one of my videos out there. So shout out to the Kirsche community. I think they were all very nice, very sweet. Quite a few people even went to my Twitch stream after it was all done and gave many, many nice words and praises. So major big shout out to the Kirsche community out there. It seemed like good people. Like, so thank you. Thank you for supporting me, subscribing, or whatever you guys might say. But yeah, dude, like, it seems like for this, it seems like the cancel culture finally is like gonzo. Or at least like this is first next step. I almost never see like the reversal, if you will, on this. Like, I usually don't. So I was very happy to have their new community manager reach out to me and have real tangible changes made to mend the bridges and move forward with their gaming community. I know some people will still be suspicious and want to give it time and see if legit. I very much respect that and hope everyone can be happy with that outcome in time. Now, to add on that, there was a lot of people who were also like disliking the game, like changing the reviews to negative because they just didn't appreciate and approve of like this cancel culture attempt. Once again, if you dislike them for whatever reason, that's always your prerogative. Like, I'm not here to change your opinion on someone. Some people are kind of stuck on their own ways. So if you dislike them, that's fine. But once again, I don't think a lot of the stuff should kind of go into sponsors, or at least in terms of companies. If the company itself was okay with it and they were fine with it initially and they kind of vetted your content, that's fine. Now, once again, I can maybe see some bigger stuff when it comes to proper, pure cancelizations, or maybe more of a bigger case of like against of morals. Like, let's say, like, you know, I don't know, maybe this might be an extreme example. I apologize if this was a bad one. But let's say someone maybe is more on the Muslim end and they don't necessarily in their own religion. They cannot go and say support things like gambling or alcohol. Then like they try to do a sponsor with that. Like something like that would make a lot of sense because the morals for them are so completely gone. Like just more so like it does not work. Now, something like a crime boss game, when it comes to heist and people going and like robbing banks and whatever the game might be, think even once again the same example for Payday, the morals are a lot more looser for these types of games where it doesn't really matter your political spectrum if you want to go be a mafia crime boss, dude, you know? Like, if anything, that almost ascends politics a little bit where you're like, I want to go be like insert crazy person from, say, Mexico running this cartel drug ring. And that's the whole point of video games, to kind of have that a sense of immersion and kind of get yourself out of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the whole fun of it all. Like, not everyone also wants to go become a crime boss, but that's why you play video games based on it all, so you can have, like, a fun life. Like, you do something out of the difference. And I would feel like a game, like a crime boss game, similar, this is, like, the one game where you're, like, political stuff, like I said, doesn't really seem like it shouldn't matter too much. You know? Like what? Like, like I said, certain games may go matter. Like, say you have, like, a children's game, Nintendo. Yes, like, that's kind of why some of these more political people may not have the, I guess, most outreach, Asmongold, Hassan, whoever, because, well, yeah, like, they're political and a little bit more polarizing. That's completely fine. But, like I said, like, hopefully you guys get in the stance over here. Just, like, if someone's doing more of, like, a crime boss game, drug lord type game, like, this is not something you have to go and, as many people say, like, bend to the knee of to go make it accessible for everyone. It's a little bit more of its own polarizing topic. I don't know, that might be a random point if I'm wrong, whatever. You guys can disagree down below. As long as you do it respectfully. But they're saying, yeah, like, hey, like, at the end of the day, you guys may still be a little bit, like, apprehensive on this game, but it seems like they did well, and it seems like everyone's kind of accepting the apology. It seems like also more people online are kind of hyped up for this and kind of actually being, like, proud of this. Like, more proud of the fact that you kind of go against the adversity and you kind of stand by with what you have to say. And that's why I kind of even make these types of videos, because I would say, even if you're someone who's left-wing or right-wing or whatever you might go and your stances may go and be, I want you to go and say your thoughts. Like, this is like the line that kind of stands a lot to me. I want people to be able to go and have a conversation, to have a discourse, to be able to go and actually debate and have back and forth nowadays. And I feel like that's the one big thing which I don't like about the cancel culture idea, is that if you cannot go have a proper discussion with someone, and you cannot go and respectably disagree, then we as a community, as people, cannot grow. And I think that's where sometimes, like, especially in the VTubing world, if you do not agree with me, then you are a monster. You deserve to be canceled. You deserve to have your entire life ruined because guess what? You don't align with this, or this. And that is something I really do not like, because sometimes I will actually agree with people on the left or on the right, depending on the certain situations, especially in this channel. That's something I try my best to pride myself to be. And well, it stinks because I can do it in normal content, no problem, get a bunch of views on normal content, no problem. But then it seems like the VTubing world, once again, if I say this video is mostly in support for Kirsche, I think it's actually very cool, and I think it's cool that this company is working with her again. But then someone may now in the VTubing sphere think that I'm an absolute asshole, bigot, racist, whoever, just because I think that in this situation, they came to an amicable result between private parties. Like, this was not public, I believe, at least as of like, these conversations right here in the change up. And I feel like this is overall good. It's like they kind of been like, hey, maybe we overblew it a little bit. Maybe we could appreciate your community a little bit more. And maybe you actually did a lot of good things for us in the first place. Or maybe we kind of overstepped over this. We don't usually see a lot of cancel stuff over there. I do remember the Revs says Desu situation where both Straub and him also got removed from advanced.gg. And there's other content creators involved that were basically doing even more worse stuff, like vile stuff, like crazy, disgusting things. Wishing harm upon other people, basically saying if you did not agree with my own political opinions, that you were monsters, disgusting. People were sending hate mods. Even I myself kind of saw that, and I made a stance against that because I just thought that was gross. And at the same time, then those same people, because it just made sense time-wise, this is all speculation, were attacking me. And I'm usually a little bit more on the fence at the end, but I try more to report on the news. But that was, in my honest opinion, I think it was a pretty big deal where people were getting removed. It was almost like us seeing just hypocrisy live. So once again, like if you don't agree with us, let's get rid of you. We've seen many instances of this out there. So they're saying this is the first cancel culture reversal and is a huge opportunity for us to show companies that they can fix prior mistakes they've made under duress from the cancel mob. Huge victory for people who want normalcy in politics to not influence video games. And that's what I've been trying to say in this video. Anyone who has hopefully like a decent emotional understanding is not like about to like try to go make some crazy tweet and be rude about me. Like I said, I never minded people react to my content, make comments on it, or even like YouTube comments, even if you disagree. Like, truly, like anyone who's subscribed here, I want you guys at times to disagree with me, or I want you guys to go and have your own thoughts. Like, I'm not here to go and persuade you or influence you in a certain manner. Unless it's maybe checking out some of our sponsors that we've done down below, or subscribing, or checking out my Twitch. Yes, I would love that. Follow me on Twitter. But when it comes to this stuff, it's like, I don't want always video games to have to make a political stance. I don't want video games or companies to always have to morally grandstand on things to make us have to go and be like, we have to act a certain way to do this. Like, this is a mafia crime boss game, dude. Like, I don't care what the devs' political spectrums are. It really does not matter. Make a fun game and I'll play it. And I do think it's a little bit insulting for them to kind of almost have to force opinions on this and force political thoughts on this. More on not even like me trying to go on the left or right type debate, but more of like sometimes we don't need this in there, you know? If it gets forced on our throats, it kind of gets gross. We should all be just go and play the game and have fun. I think that's a great line right there. We're on that streets of Rock can be used for all your crime boss media. Let's go keep it up. Honorable chatters too as well. And even they say, good to see you back in Rock City. Glad we got the chance to talk this through and start fresh. See you out there. Really happy with the little things. I bought the game last year because you had spoken really well about it. Not long after they dropped you. I'd love to play with you sometime if you're down. Will they unban people who defend you on the Steam discussion forums? I hope so. I saw some people comment about it under the YouTube vids, so I sent a message asking if this is possible for the devs looking to the bans. I have no idea how these go and work. It's nice to see that they're willing to apologize. You really seem to love the game and they got their biggest main supporters back. It'd be nice if this promotes a trend of sponsors sticking with people during obvious cancel campaigns. That's why I've appreciated some of the companies I've worked with, because I have the freedom to go and speak on what I have to say. Mainly because I do think I hopefully conduct myself in a somewhat decent manner. I usually one-shot these videos and kind of yap a little bit, but I've just been streaming for many years, so I hope I do okay on that. And I do, and I will misspeak, and I will mess up, and I will maybe probably say something that you guys will not agree with over time. Or even maybe a video like this. It might get a little bit of a polarizing reception, but I do think like someone backstabbing on a cancel campaign where it seems like, yeah, there might have been some risque comments or risque jokes, but that's like how the internet used to be. And I feel like it's almost where that so many people are kind of against more slightly maybe darker humor or other things. Now, politics aside, you may also not agree on that. But I did see people trying to cancel them for like some things that seemed like obvious jokes. And many of the things were also removed when I was trying to research even more to it in the past. So that once again, even out of context, I'm like, this doesn't really seem that bad, at least in my opinion. Now even saying like cancel mob will come back, how they handle it a second time will define whether they're successful or they collapse. Let's hope whoever's in charge has a spine this time. And yes, that generally helped more companies start ignoring people trying to strong arm them into dropping creators. And that is something that I do not like. I don't like the idea that you cannot do this, you cannot do this, you cannot do this as well. People calling out the cancel mobs for being like, this is disgusting. And even people are saying, hey, maybe you should tell them to go and stick it where the sun don't shine. But if anything, I actually prefer a more happy situation. Now, we did have other content creators also, once again, you guys can see back when this happened, back in May 1st of 2025, a 1,300 negative chances, people saying they gave the game a chance because of Foxu. The game has its fun parts, but the online AI is trash, they need to fix it, the AI just stands there and dies. And of course, a lot of people also even molding, saying, hey, this one too, saying, waste the potential of the video game, but I guess partnering with the great replacement theory, believing Nazi is more important than making sure your game actually works or adding an actually good endgame. Now, I do want to agree you want to still make the game good, but like this is why I kind of stand by is that it kind of goes both ways. And this is where this is like the exact stance of this video is if you disagree with them, you disagree with political thoughts, it doesn't really affect the game too much. Partnering with VTuber fastest, Kirsche, not on my bingo card, but anything can happen these days in the name of clout. Developers partner, then unpartnered, then repartnered and apologized to openly Nazi fastest VTuber Kirsche. Like, I never really saw any stances of them say that she was a Nazi. I even want to try to do a little bit of research. I think the only big thing I saw was that I think maybe it was like an outfit at one time for a cosplay, maybe, if I remember correctly. And then maybe like some weird like Steam gamer tag where it was like Hitler's mommy or something too. Like, you know much stupid stuff throughout the world I've seen on Xbox gamer tag, Steam charts, whatever, dude. Like, I have VTubers on my Steam that are like XX Big Daddy Kitten gonna girth you down. Like, bro, I mean, like, I don't know, man. A lot more VTubers as well in private are also a lot more less, I guess. How do you word it? Like, they're not like this uppity, if you will. But basically, people are very, very upset about this all. Yeah, it just seems even people in the comments are like, dude, they're just spamming this. Like, it's not even a hurtful thing to say anymore because they're spamming it so much. Just have the meaning for it too as well. And it just kind of seems like a lot of these people are just extremely upset, even on their association with this all. Like, it's this makes me mad when I see Kirsche get targeted by a whole hate campaign when it comes to companies effing over VTubers, not a fucking peep. These companies screwed over VTubers and their fans, but at least they're not racist. Absolute BS. I always complain about how defending yourself is akin to starting drama in the VTubing community. Everyone wants to just keep your mouth shut so they don't have to hear everything about it. It's very aggravating. And it does kind of seem like that's a big deal. Like, if you ever defend yourself and you have proper stances, people think that you're stirring drama, trying to get clout, whatever it might be. I've noticed this a lot too. I do think there's a difference between having a stance you disagree with and then letting them kind of do their own thing. Think Asmongold, Hassan, versus them trying to go and completely destroy them for any company that they've worked with. And I do think that is overall really bad. Let's be real, the devs signed off on canceling Kirsche, and the cowards wait until the person who spearheaded the decision left to make good with the Fox and hope that she'll work her magic to save the dead game. These devs can go themselves. So some people are still upset, which is kind of why she's saying it might take a little bit of time for folks out there. And obviously, as you guys can see, people are still upset and still mad about everything that happened, this whole Iran situation. You guys can have your own political thoughts. Like, you don't have to agree with this Kirsche woman. You don't have to. I'm not here to say that you have to in any capacity. But it is a common problem with the VTubing sphere where it does seem like people, well, if you disagree, they hate you. Well, many people online, glad for Kirsche, no win for those trying to cancel her too as well. She's a lot more forgiving than me. We would have told them to F off, but getting rid of some noticeable damage to them. Hopefully she plays more games now, preferred over the new stuff she does. I usually prefer gaming too. That's why I haven't really watched Kirsche myself. Seems like a lovely lady. I'm just more of a gamer at heart. On top of that, a lot of people are getting like support. There's a lot of people hyped up for this too as well. But they're saying, like, I will now rejoin the game and change my reviews because of these W devs. This is great for her and fantastic accumulation of ritual for such a spineless dev team. I was interested in the game before, but now my interest is back again. Like, this was actually trending and actually is still trending as we speak. Seems like, big deal over here, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, I think it's just nice. I do feel like not everyone should go and have to have their entire lives ruined on top of this. It's not cancel culture to get people fired because their hostile ideologies weaponizing their jobs to attack and discriminate against you. Cancel culture is when you decide, come for someone's job purely to F with them for things they did unrelated to it. People do have their own thoughts on this, and I did want to try to show both sides for this too. Although, once again, I'm just not the biggest fan of cancel culture. Now, people are even calling it the Nyara person, who I think was one of the bigger spearheads of this. I have seen Nyara be an absolutely, in my honest opinion, really bad representation of the trans community. I know quite a few people in the VTubing and Twitch community who are trans in both directions, and they seem like great people. I'm not even trying to be like, oh my god, I'm pro stance, whatever, blah, 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 whatever it might be. But like, yeah, I've had great people in the trans community that have just had good points, or very logical. They don't care. Like, this is not the representation for them. To the point where I've even had people say that they dislike Nyara and other people trying to do these campaigns, because it just kind of puts a smear against people who are just trying to be trans folks and living their life, you know? Like, just waking up every day, trying to be who they want to be and move on. And it has just an awful representation. This is coming from trans folks too as well, that people do not like this Nyara person. They kind of wore the sphere head for it too. It's just crazy. As you can even see over here too, when I tried it, your fans told me it's a bad game and that nobody actually enjoys it. Glad you two got back together, I guess. Like, that's kind of the overall stance on that one too. And many people imagine being the Vice journalist and dedicating your time writing articles trying to ruin a VTuber canceled only to lose your job. Kirsche 1. Here's even Straub saying seeing a company actually apologize to a creator that they wronged and tried to mend things is nice. I guess it really is just that easy to. They need Kirsche more than they ever need them. She was their strongest supporter and they desperately need her back. I'll be really curious to hear what these supposed real tangible changes are as well. For me, and even people are saying this is not the game for me, but I'm happy for it too on top of that as well. Yeah, this seems like the person got fired. Looks like a lot of people are changing the stuff. People are even saying it's time for me to go and update my old review, because a lot of people did go and remove the reviews for it too as well. And a lot of people are saying it seems like nature is now healing and getting off of the cancel culture vibe. So I would love to hear your thoughts. You know, like I said, it's completely okay if you disagree with any of Kirsche's stances, but I do think it's overall nice to see that people themselves can kind of still have the freedom of speech when they go and speak in this all. As I mentioned, my political views a little bit kind of on every end, depends on the situation and the person. I think on this one, I haven't seen anything that's been super, super horrible from the Kirsche person. You guys feel free to tweet at me or message me. I really don't care that much. I actually maybe don't do that, but you know, if anything super horrible that I ever miss, feel free to let me know. But from everything I kind of saw, it kind of seemed like just old school internet humor and maybe just different political views that I can see why people would disagree on, but it didn't, I don't think it deserves to be massively canceled at the end of the day. Subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video, or give me your thoughts down below. Can't wait for someone to get upset about me even making this video, because that's the way of the lands, especially in the VTubing sphere. I definitely get more views and more subs when I'm not covering that. But whatever, the way of the lands, the way of the lands lies. So Twitter, Twitch down below. Love to you guys go follow. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here. In the first place, we also have our own sponsor. Leave a link down below. Just want to check it out. I'll talk to you guys all soon. We're also going to let Kirsche go give her final statements over here in case you guys are going to go check it out. And of course, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys all so much for watching.
Chat, I have been so excited for today, man. I have been so excited. Explain. So I had the developers reach out to me.
Commanding, composed, concordant, considerate, consistent, constructive, contented, convincing, cooperative, coordinated, copious, cordial, credible, creditable, crisp, cultured, curious, cuddly, cunning, cute, crime boss, redemption, ARC.
It is an ARC. Thank you. Thank you, Toast Engineer, my guy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Spill the beans. I have beans to spill. Sophie, thank you for the dollars. You like the intro? That's the Crime Boss official song. That's the song. It's the double slaves! Oh no! Oh no!
There's no fucking way.
There's no fucking way! I can't even find this message, bro. You play video games? She's been abducted. Imagine! Imagine! I literally cannot find that slaves. I'm losing my mind. Fucking John in English! Thank you for the 100 slaves, my guy. Thank you, John in English. We are indeed in the realm of let's fucking go, buddy! Let's fucking go! Who's the other slaves? I literally cannot find it in chat. I'm losing my mind. Kamiyoshi was struggling so hard. I was struggling. Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Malik, for making the art that we have in the thumbnail. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Uwu Gaming, thank you for the 3 months, dude. Thank you. I want to make sure I thank that last slaves. I don't know. I said I can't scroll back in chat. I can't find it. Waiting for mod assistance. I'm late. What the fuck happened? Ah! Another slave! Spider God, thank you! Spider God, thank you. Kirsche has slime bombs on the thumbnail for her stream today. She's been officially upgraded to first monitor content. We're so fucking back! Gambling is back on the menu, boys! Thank you, Climb Bobs! Thank you, Spider God! Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm just saying thank you to the game now. I'm just fucking excited. Thank you, Spider God!
Kirsche has
Thank
Climb
you.
Bots on the thumbnail for her stream today.
I do!
She has been officially upgraded to
do.
first monitor content today. We're so back.
We are so
Let's
back.
fucking go.
We are so back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Okopick. Ain't no fucking way. Is fucking way. Thank you, Okopick. I'm sorry I couldn't find your message in my chat. Everything was exploding. Thank you. Thank you, Okopick. For Icy, they give it a 64 months. Big fucking huge. Massive months even. Massive. Massive. Alright. So story. They sent an email to me and they were like, hey, do you want to come take a tour of our offices? And I was like, hey, I mean, yes, but also, shouldn't we, like, why are you reaching out to me? I was just like, ayo, what? I'm very confused. Yeah, I was like, we should be like, I'd like to, but we should talk, you know? Like, this is kind of confusing. You're sending mixed messages here. And, I guess the guy who sent me the email, he was like, oh, I was just given, like, you know, a list of creators that I should reach out to, and your name was on the list, so if there's something wrong, I'm not aware of it. And I was like, oh no, he's a new hire. Oh no, they didn't vet their lists. And then, baby, come back. You can blame it all on us. Yeah, he didn't know. He was not a knower. He was not a knower. But, I guess he talked to his, manager, so the community manager, team lead, and they reached out to me. And they were like, hey, I'm not exactly sure how you feel, but like we would like to talk. He does not have the critical information. So in here's the one that got hired as a community manager. Where the check bros at? I'm sorry, what's going on? We're getting into it. Internet Zen Master, thank you, my guy. Yes, Climb Bobs! That Climb Bobs! Think we can. The fox who's won all the things, and now she can rub it in all of the enemies who tried to cancel her. Let's go, honorable chatters. True. True and fucking real. Have I requested reparations? Well, I had a very nice conversation with, the community manager lead guy. Turns out, and I have to be, like, careful about how much I say, which I know some people will be disappointed in. I can't help that. But, essentially, a couple community managers had an influencer friend talk to them around the time that the hit pieces dropped. And those community managers took the advice of this influencer friend, and they were like, we're going to get rid of this Nazi. And since that happened, everybody kind of just had to go along with the decision that was already made. And the decision fallout after that was, holy shit, this was such a bad idea. No one fucking talk about it ever. No one mention it. No one address questions about it. No one talk about it. We're just not gonna, we see nothing because this was a horrible fucking decision. Why did this happen? Unanimous decision, my fucking nuts. More like, we decided to do this before letting everybody know what the potential fallout could be. Who could have seen that coming? And so it's just like, you know, from a company perspective, they're like, how do we fix this? Because, like, everything is just blowing up right now. There's a bunch of candy asses. How fucking shocking. Yep. Boycotts work. We made a large enough wave and Kirsche got her favorite money laundering game back. That's what I wanted to say as well. Before I thank this Bantam Sartorius for the slaves. This is, to my knowledge, the first time any company has, like, done a 180 where they're like, we bent the knee to cancel culture and it failed spectacularly. And so we're going to try to make amends with the target of that cancel mob and see if things cannot be fixed. And I think we have a very, very interesting opportunity to show companies like, yes, actually, if you don't listen to cancel culture, if you do just keep on people you were working with, things should be better. And if you've already fucked over someone that you've been working with before, you fired them from a regular job, you can probably make amends because they're more sane than the mob was in the beginning. Kirsche uncanceled. We're uncanceling you. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is both exciting, not just for, like, me, because I love the game, and you guys, because you had fun playing the game with me, and it was, like, a fun community thing we were doing, but also just in general. Like, first time cancel culture reversal has happened. That's monu-fucking-mental, dude. That's crazy. And, we did end up doing a virtual tour of their offices. There were a couple of other content creators there with me, and that video will come out after stream is over. So you guys will get like a pretty cool rundown of like the history of Crime Boss, the development stuff. If you're into game dev stuff, even if you're not necessarily into Crime Boss, I think it's fascinating to listen to. And then there was like a Q&A at the end where all of us could ask questions of the developers about, you know, the future of the game, things that are going to be happening and whatnot. Did they put me in the game? Not at the moment, but you know, I did ask about people who know how to use Unreal Engine the other day, so I'm still looking for that. Honestly though, they deserved the backlash. It was a very shitty thing they did, and they definitely owe you reparations. Yeah, I'm very, very glad to have gotten an apology. I'm very glad to be talking to people again. Very glad to know that the community managers who made that decision no longer work in this game sphere. You know, I'm glad that they're no longer part of the company. They apologize? Yes. And it's been great. I'm very happy. And I know some people are going to be like, I want more.
I am glad you get to play a game you love, and that the organization is changing to uncancel people. Congratulations, Kirsche.
Thank you. And I know some people want even more information, but if the most that I have to sacrifice in this deal is to not tell you literally everything, I think that is okay to do. I can honor that, you know? So